Okay, good morning. Yeah, and I see already there are 4 participants. Great. Oh, I wanted to use my microphone. Give me a sec. I hope the sound is a little bit better with it. Let me see. And it's on. Okay, please write in the comments again if you can see and hear me. And I just need now to share this also to our Facebook group. And then we can start with this absolutely exciting topic. I can see that there are lots of people really interested. That's good. Feel free to ask me questions all the time. Okay, so let me quickly see that this is also working here on Facebook. Okay, so what do you apply for? Funding. Always takes a little bit. If you attended already a couple of my webinars, you know that. So, yeah, looks like we are also live on Facebook. Let me quickly see if there's also the sound working. Also the sound working. Yeah. Great. Okay, so we are all set. Good morning. I wish you an absolutely amazing week. And Simon, hi Simon. Okay, they are. Okay. Kanya can hear me. I'm sure Spencer can hear me. Oh, now you're challenging me here. Abdurrahman can hear me. Simon. Great. Ben raised a hand. Please don't raise the hands. If you want to say something, just scroll down and go into this chat. And then you can ask me there. Gary can hear me. Great. Happy to hear that. Okay. So these challenges are already overcome here. Okay. So what do I want to talk today about is I want to give you a little bit about an overview. If you want to apply for funding and finance, what do you really need to have in place? Okay, there are over 70 different programs out there. You can apply for funding through some grant programs from DTI, from the Department of Small Business Development. There is financing available from IDC, from CIFA, from NEF, from Land Bank. These are the government institutions. There are commercial banks available. There are enterprise development funds from commercial banks and corporates available. And there's always one thing they all have in common. The most important thing for you is that your venture is profitable. Okay, I'm not talking here about non-profit organization. I'm only talking about entrepreneurs starting their own business, and the emphasis is on business. So you need to want to raise finance or grants. So it needs to be profitable, then it is fundable, and each of them have 20 pages rules and regulations. They are all a little bit different depending on your industry, the loan amount. Okay, but this is something what we then can easily assist you to really determine, okay, here, this is the right financier for you. But what do you need to have in place to apply for finance? Doesn't matter wherever you want to go. Okay? I made here some notes. So always keep in mind, if you want to apply for funding and finance or grants, doesn't matter. The other side want to feel sure and secure that your administration part is up to scratch. Okay, so if you submit an application form and you need to fill it in by hand, number one, please make sure that whoever's handwriting is neat does that for you. Okay, I always joke and I say I would never ever fill out my own loan application by hand. I definitely will either way ask somebody else to do that for me, or sometimes there are possibilities to do that also on the computer in a PDF format. Yeah. The second absolutely important part is your business plan, and I talked already in other webinars about it, and I'm sure we will do again some webinars about it. Make sure that all the relevant aspects are covered in the business plan. One tip I want to say, most entrepreneurs are so in love with their product and services that they totally forget the commercial part of it. An investor, of course, wants to know exactly what you want to offer, but if it is now pink or blue or red is not really interesting for them. They want to see the numbers. Okay, so how much does it cost you? For how much do you want to sell? What is your gross profit? What is your net profit? Are you able to repay the loan? Is there still some money left for you, although you need to repay the loan? These things. They need to be covered in the business plan. The financial forecast is absolutely important. Most institutions need 3 years. Few institutions need 3 years. Most institutions require 5 years financial forecast. The financial forecast should have income statement, cash flow, and balance sheet. 3 most important parts of it. Yeah. And of course, if you want to apply for finance, put yourselves into the shoes of the financier and think about, what do you want to know? Of course, you want to know for what the other side is using the money. Okay. And to saying, I'm assuming this machine will cost me around about 3 million rand is definitely not sufficient enough. Yeah. You need to have quotations. And I'm not too sure how you are handling it, but if I buy something a little bit more expensive, like washing machine or dishwashers or something like this, I always compare prices. And that's definitely something what you should also do if you want to invest in equipment. Yeah. There are a couple of things for the small amount, maybe there's not a smaller amount, there's not the time for. But for the bigger amounts, you definitely need to have quotations. So the next part are, of course, all the company details. You need to have your company registered. South Africa is crazy about registered companies. You will not be able to apply for finance if you don't have a registered company. Okay, you need to have an income tax. You need usually to have a tax clearance certificates. Sometimes you need to have a BE certificate. If you are already trading, you need your latest annual financial statements. You need company bank statements, and you need to have proof of address of the business. Yeah. So now we covered the application part. These are now all the company details. And the third part is, of course, also all about the shareholders, directors, or members, depending on your entity who wants to apply. You have a CV, highlight your experience relevant to this business. Okay? It makes no sense telling somebody that you, I don't know, worked as a taxi driver next to your university degree, and now want to start a laboratory. Yeah, you can tell them, of course, you paid for your university degree. That's fine, but then make sure whatever you've done in as a biologist, if you did some internships, highlight these things, put some emphasis on it. You have no idea. I've seen business CVs, and when I asked people and I said, but have you done anything? You told me your experience. Oh yes, I forgot this and I forgot that. Yeah. So CV, make sure that is relevant to the business you want to open. All financiers, doesn't matter if it's government, institutions, enterprise development funds, or commercial banks, want to have a list of your assets and your liabilities, and they want to have an incomes and expenses spreadsheet. Most of these financiers have their own Word or Excel document, and I always would recommend use that what they give you. There are some people sitting there going through an application at, let's say, IDC, and you want something from them. So make it as easy as possible for the other side, okay? So if it is, number one is an application, your first document in your application pack should be the application. Number two is the CV, so make sure number two in your application pack is the CV. I was there once, and I also needed to go through, I don't know, wasn't too much, 50 or 60 applications for specific program. And what is really disturbing, if you have a list next to each and every application and you go through it. Submitted, 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 submitted. If you now expect me to go through applications that thick and see, okay, where's the CV now? Okay, done. Okay, and now where's the tax clearance certificate? And I need to go through everything, done. It takes so much time. You are missing things. You are increasing the chances of human error. Yeah? Make it as easy as possible, because what you want is that this application goes smoothly through all the different stages so everybody can tick their boxes and say everything is there next. Okay. Most funding institutions also want to see your private bank statements. Certified copy of ID is also something what is here always requested. Make sure your certified copy of ID is not older than, I would say, 1 month. Okay, so and if you are able to time that correctly, make sure that all the certifications are done the last week before you submit the application. Okay, so and the last, the two last parts here are proof of private address, either way from your landlord, or you make sure that you get, if you get some invoices from the municipality, these invoices are also accepted. What they teased me in the beginning when they asked me for proof of residence, there was only the PO box on it, and they asked me how can I live in the PO box. Okay, so make sure that on this municipality invoice is not only your PO box on it, but also the physical address where you really live. If you're married, they always want to have your marriage certificate, certified copy of spouse, and you've got here in South Africa two different sorts of marriage. You always need to say, okay, in which way you are married. Okay, so sounds like a lot. I think it is. This is the normal documentations, what financiers want to see from you. there can be some additional documents required from different funds, but this is now if you've got all these in place, everything else is later on then smooth sailing if you miss one or two other documents. Yeah. And if you submit an application, please do yourself a favor. Submit a full application. Don't just submit 2 or 3 documents, send it off, and then next week the next 3, and the next week the next 10 documents. I promise you, your application gets lost. They will not be able to put everything together. It is so much more work for the financier. That's not really fair. You can make it as easy as possible for the financier, so that they have a little bit of an easier job. Let me quickly see. There is somebody asking me already a question. What about funding for professional services? What are the likelihood of getting a grant for this business, and who would be keen to offer funding, which companies? Okay. What you're doing to me here at the moment is you're telling me, please buy me a vehicle. Okay, so like I said, each and every fund has 20 pages rules and regulations. And there are some grants for service industries available. I just need to know exactly which service industry you are. Then we need to know exactly for what you need the money, how much you need, and then we are able really to assist you and say, okay, this is the right way to go. Most grants at the moment here in South Africa are closed. So that's why I really definitely need to see which industry are you offering the project management to, so that I'm then able to assist you. Okay. And funding, if you want to apply for finance, is the same thing. Yeah. If I'm asking you, please organize me a vehicle, you wouldn't know what I really want. I want the Porsche, but I tell you, my hubby would like to have a nice Harley Davidson motorbike. Okay, so we definitely need to have more information, and you can drop me an email, and then you can contact me, and then we can discuss this. What is the best way? Okay, so next question. How much does my personal assets and liabilities affect my chances to get funding for the business? Okay, so if you use the enterprise development funds and also government institutions, then if you are blacklisted, your chances are definitely decreasing. I'm straightforward here, okay? If you don't have any private assets to back up a loan as surety, that is okay. If the business plan and your venture is strong, you have strong offtake agreements in place, that is in order. If you have assets, it makes it, of course, easier for the financiers to approve your application. Yeah, and if you have too many liabilities and you are struggling to repay the loans at the moment, your chances will be decreasing. Let me tell you one thing. What is always amazing for me is, if you really want this, and if your idea is absolutely great, and you develop a step-by-step plan on how to get there, you will get there. Only because you are at the moment blacklisted, what do you want to do? Now you want to give up on life and bury your dream of becoming an entrepreneur? No. Make some plans, come up with crazy ideas, earn some money where you are at the moment, pay off the debt, tackle it, talk to your debtors, see how you can handle this. So As long as you are hiding and you're not facing your challenges, you will not be able to grow. And it doesn't matter in which area in your life. Yeah? Okay, so now we are going back to the professional services. They are in the construction industry. Answer is easy. No, there are no grants available for the construction industry. Okay? Simon. Okay, do you have any idea what percentage of the loan amount I need to have if I'm approaching IDC? Can I have my recently bonded property and insurance policy as surety? Okay, so IDC needs a minimum of 10, preferably even more 30% of collateral, okay? That means if you want to apply for 10 million rand, you need to have a minimum of 1 million rand and they will finance 9 million rand. Lots of people don't have this collateral, and what I always say is, but if you don't have money, money is never ever the problem to get not started, believe me. So you will be able to handle this. You just need to make some plans and say, okay, I don't have collateral. Who would be interested in my venture? Maybe there are some customers. They say, Simon, what do you want to do? This is what we need. They have some enterprise development funds available. They have some supplier development funds available. And maybe you can use them. Yeah? The second question from Simon is, if your property is bonded, you only can offer surety for freehold unbonded properties. Okay, because the property is obviously now belonging already to the bank, to another bank, so you can't use it twice. My grandfather did that after World War II in Germany. Okay, so he went to do 2 different banks and bonded a property twice. But this is not possible anymore. That is a couple of decades ago when he did that. Okay, but you can't do that today because all there are records and it's noted in the title deeds that it is bonded. So you only can offer your property once as surety. But you can definitely offer an insurance policy also as surety. I just want to make sure I'm separating here. Collateral is the money what you put into the business as a part of your own equity, okay? And surety is something what you then offer for the loan amount. So the 9 million rand you want to apply with IDC for a loan amount, they would take your insurance policy as surety into consideration. Yeah. Gary, are there any grants for sports, rugby, skills development? Gary, I'm clueless. I have absolutely no idea. I'm not an expert for non-profit organization. Skills development, if it is for businesses, I know there are the relevant SETAs. So if you are paying the levies for the SETAs, you can claim this for skills development. And there's also tax incentive available from SARS. So if you hire unemployed youth up to, I think, 35, you can deduct your income tax. But of course you need to pay income tax, otherwise this makes no sense. Yeah, I hope I answered that question. Precious. But what if the property owes 500,000 and is valued at 2 million rand? The problem is the financier is now second. Okay, because the first Let me think if I can remember the name or the word of it. No, I can't at the moment, because the first financier is now written in as on first position, and the next financier would be now on second position. So the first person would always get the 500,000 rand, and on the second position, they usually use properties in any case, I think only up to 50%. For surety reasons. Yeah. Let me see. I can see there is some more underneath. What types of insurance can you use as surety? Definitely life cover. Yes. Okay. So there's a cat sitter for sports. Okay, that obviously helped, Gary. That's great. Simon, does the policy have to be equal to the value of the loan requested? It always depends on the finance institution. If you have an existing life insurance, you can offer that. Most financiers will ask you for an extra life insurance only for the period of the loan, and in this equals the loan amount. First sessionary. Thanks very much. Somebody knew the word. Okay. So the first sessionary was then for the 500,000, and the second sessionary is then for the next 1.5 million. Usually they only accept 50%. I know that. I've done a couple of times these applications. Great. Okay, so guys, let me quickly go into Facebook and see if there are some questions. Dieter said, Guten Morgen, liebe Dagmar. Thanks very much. Friend and business partner from Germany is attending here. Let me quickly see if there are some other questions. Just refreshing it. No, there are some people watching on Facebook. I can see you, but they obviously don't have any questions. Okay, so I think we covered a lot this morning. It was again already a nearly half an hour meeting what we did here. So that's great. So Gary had another question. Let me see. Are international venture capitalists looking for investment in South Africa company that can expand abroad? We have an international registered design and a recognized. We are pivoting in on different strategies, so we are profitable, but are always exploring new ways to grow. Recognized. Oh, we have an international recognized brand. Okay, Gary, I'm sure that you will be able to find venture capitalists. It always depends on, of course, the offer you can make them. So, yeah, I'm creative. You can see that. So no worries, Gary. I think it definitely makes sense to set up a consultation. We can do that also on Zoom, like we do this now in a one-on-one. And then I get a little bit more to know about your venture and your ideas. And then I'm definitely be able to guide you in the right directions. If you want to expand abroad, it can be also interesting to see what South Africa has to offer, depending also on the amount of capital you really need to raise. Yeah. Okay. Let me quickly see. I'm scrolling down. Okay, so Mandi Metzer is asking here some questions. This is something I don't like really to answer in general. I would like to have a look it is usually difficult to refinance anything through enterprise development or government institutions. This is what I can say. Yeah. So, but if you would like to, I'm more than happy also to have a look at your setup and then be able to advise. Gary, yes, please email me. Let me quickly give you all here my email address. It is dagmar@fundingconnection.coza. Okay, so Precious just asked me how much is your Zoom consultation. If you want to have a consultation with me, we still charge the reduced fee of 970 Rand. And Cindy will then set up the consultation with you, and we will discuss the best way forward with you. I will be able to tell you what's possible. I'm also straightforward telling you what's not possible, and so that you definitely know afterwards, okay, this is the direction I can go now. Okay, great. Spencer now comes up here. Our businesses are technology based and are cutting edge. We funded the entire development phase and the products are cutting edge, designed with 30 years of industry experience. That's absolutely great. Spencer, if you want to discuss your funding options or your expansion plans, please just email me. And then I can see what I can do there. I have my next one-on-one consultation in 15 minutes. So this is, and I would like to be a little bit prepared. So that's why I will finish it here. Okay, so if you're not profitable yet and you need money for marketing, I'm more straightforward. You will not be able to raise any funding for marketing. And this is something what I always try to offer also my clients is online marketing is the way to go. It is a low cost or even no cost marketing strategies. And maybe we need to, maybe I do another Zoom meeting about this. So, and I will definitely explain to you the best way for your sales process. Yeah. And covering also marketing strategy. Oh, venture capital, angel investors. No, if you're not profitable, no angel investor, no venture capitalist will take you on, specifically if you say you only need to have the money for marketing. Yeah. We will do that next week. I will talk about some great marketing strategies for startups so that you know what I'm talking about, and I will talk about the 3 different venues. Okay, Gary, thanks very much. I wish you all absolutely exciting, successful new week ahead, lots of profits, of course, lots of nice steps ahead into the right direction, so that you know you are getting closer and closer to your goal. Okay, take care. See you.